What's up, everybody? I am back again. This is your girl, Kiwan, and we are doing Tyler Perry Sisters, Season 8, Episode 11, Breathe. Listen, before I start this video or whatever, before you leave, while you're coming in, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell, and even share my videos. That will help me out a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So in this, I want, and also y'all, before I even start, I think this is the season finale. It was a lot of endings on here tonight. Um, like wow. Hopefully we get something good. Um, but we will see. And one more thing. Zatima is returning on December 26th. So I will be dropping those as they come. Anyway, back to the regularly scheduled program, which is Sisters. So Robin tries to reassure Andi that he is helping her and he's doing what's best for her. Andi was like, I don't care about, this case, Agent Watt, blah, blah, blah. She just want to come back to work. So Robin tells Andi how he feels about her. And I was like, woo, child. And he want her real bad, y'all. And I'm sorry. She's that girl. Anyway, Robin wants to be with Andi and he doesn't want to run away from their relationship anymore. And he was like, tell me you don't want me to run away and I won't go. No. And I was like, okay. I'm sorry, y'all. This is so childish. I'm not mad at Andi. I'm not. I just, when you think of magic, think of Andi. Anyway, Andi says, I have expressed my concerns about my career and my livelihood, and you're concerned about a kiss. And I can see where Andi's frustration is coming from because, first of all, I don't trust you. I don't know why you're back. And you are supposed to be my acting attorney and you're coming at me romantically. So I get it. It's a lot of mixed, like, feelings and all of that stuff. It's So Andi, ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. Ooh, sorry. Andi wants to return back to work today, as she stated in the last episode and in this one. So y'all, we get down to the police station and there's this rude lady at the front desk. He goes to the front desk, asks how long Penelope's gonna be. She was like, um, she was just very rude. She was on the phone and she was like, I know who you are, and I know who your sister is, and your sister is the one who your girlfriend, you and your girlfriend stabbed her soon, who was supposed to be her soon to be husband, who is your sister's fiance, and you were on a campaign, but because everything, this lady was, and then she called him a pedo. She was like, you was the one who assaulted that girl. And he was like, I didn't do that. Somebody lied on me. But of course we know what happened with that. But people, she was just like, I don't believe it. She was just one of those people. And it felt like a little bit of borderline harassing. But she was extremely unprofessional. And I feel like I used that word 3 times. 2 in the last video and 1 in this video. Anyway, So Karen is on the phone with Aaron, and y'all, she's on the phone with Aaron. She's doing the lady hair, and the lady's just moving her head like she talking to her, like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I was like, girl, why are you in that lady business? But I get it. And then Pam ears is always popping when Karen is doing something, talking to somebody, because here she come being nosy AF. So she gets a text from Zach, and Zach is sending her text after text after text about baby stuff. Um, and so the lady that's sitting in a chair is actually getting annoyed. I don't know why that stuck out to me, but her sitting in that chair was actually getting annoying. I mean, she was getting annoyed with Karen. She told Karen, when you're not too distracted, then I'll come back. So before she can even get her hair finished, she left the shop. And Pam was like, well, we want our clips back. And I was like, girl, y'all just lost a whole client because of Karen and her distractions. So in the next scene, Andi makes it to the office, and we see she's being followed by some big old dude. And y'all, I thought she gave Gary that Rolls Royce back, but I guess not. I just try not to pay attention to detail, but I do. Rich and Sabrina at the basketball court. That's all I got. Tony comes over to Danny's house. Danny has prepared a meal for him, and they start to talk about Leonard and talk about how nosy, miserable, and jealous Leonard is. And I was like, is he? Is he, or are y'all unprofessional and he's clocking it for what it is? Y'all can miss me with that. I'm sorry. I, mm-mm. Anyway, so we find out that Danny hasn't had an edible. She hasn't had vape. She hasn't been vaping. She's not smoking, no weed, no alcohol. I think they just have wine. So she wants things to be natural, since she had that conversation with Lucretia. Hayden is annoying. Okay. That's all I got. So we get back to the hospital. Gary is being held down by the doctors. Hudson tells Gary Andi is the person who's like, I didn't want to tell you this, but Andi is the person that most likely stabbed you. And Gary was like, she would never do that to me, and yada, yada, yada. And he tells the doctors, she was like, I am your power of attorney. And so he actually tells the doctors to sedate him. He wasn't being strapped down. They wasn't going to strap him down, but they just held him down. But because Gary is trying to fight everything, now Hudson is like, you know, we're going to be sedated. At this point, Hudson is mad because, first of all, Gary doesn't remember him, and Gary is still wanting to be with Andi. And of course, we know Hudson cannot stand Andi. So Gary also mentioned how he loves Andi and how he's her fiance. And I was like, how do you remember that? But I know they said that this was retrograde memory loss. So I guess things kind of come and go. Anyway, Andi returns to the firm and she sees the partners in a meeting with Robin. Um, and I would like to say, Fatima, you are not Andi's bulldog. You do not get to talk to Robin the way that you've done and literally threaten to harm him with your GUN. Ma'am, you didn't say the word, but we knew what you meant. We can read between the lines. You keep piping up at people like that. You should have. I may not like Hayden, and he is not my favorite person, but the way Fatima carries on with her attitude and her demeanor, to me, that's grounds for fired. Okay. And I like Fatima. I like Fatima a lot. But you don't have to be Andi's bulldog. Because we already know if the shoe was on the other foot, she would not probably go up for you like the way you go up for her. Like, Andi doesn't need protection. Andi needs to handle her business. point blank and period. And she does not. Sorry, just had to say that. So Robin tells Andi that she is being suspended. I want to say this was paid without leave. And her partnership has been rescinded. She's mad. She gets mad at Robin and slaps him in the face. I also would like to point out that this is the second time you have almost your job, your career has been on the line due to this situation with Gary. Y'all remember the first season? End of the first season, the FBI raided everything. She lost her job and she ended up being reinstated, but still, everything is still behind this person. I don't, that whole, it's not her fault. Yes, it is. Because somehow you could have prevented this. You could have prevented all of this from happening, but you're at fault for everything that is happening around you because you constantly let Gary in. There are no boundaries. You don't have boundaries with him. You don't have boundaries with yourself. It's insane. So in the next scene, Karen stops by Zach and Fatima's house unannounced. Let's make that clear, ma'am. You cannot keep doing that. She's aggravated that Zach is constantly texting her and feeling like she's being micromanaged about how she should raise their kid, how she should handle her baby. Sir, stop. In the next scene, Tamara and Hayden just finished doing what they do. He asked her, whose is it? Who, um, how was it? And of course, she lies to him, stroke his ego. Um, and then she tries to kiss him, and Hayden is like, I don't want to kiss you because um, you don't want to put your mouth on her because she probably put it everywhere on Andi, but you just stuck your inside of her, but you don't want to kiss her. Got it. Anyway, so Penelope is with Agent Watt. He tells her he think Gary messed with her head, and no, I'm sorry, he thinks Gary messed her up, and she actually had a reason to could have had a reason for her to stab Gary. Child, Penelope started acting with no tears. Um, but she admits a part of her wanted to forgive him. This is why Penelope should have taken Andi's attorney information, the pro bono attorney that Andi suggested, because you're sitting here spilling your guts to him. He asked, what did she do? She said she doesn't remember because she blacked out, but there was blood on her. There was blood on her hand. You basically just outed yourself. You just admitted to something that you don't even remember that you've done. That's insane to me. Um, so he asked, did you stab Gary? Penelope is special because why would you do that? Why would you do that? Who puts paprika in potato salad? Y'all was watching Almost Christmas the other day. Who puts paprika in potato salad? Sorry, that was funny to me. Anyway, um, you you admitted to doing something. Um, you admitted to doing something. You literally sat there and admitted to doing something that you don't know if you've done it. I yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I really think something is really, well, no, let me say that. Let me say this. I was gonna say something is really going on with Penelope, and it is. I think, like she said, after her having that miscarriage, she ain't been right ever since. Um, I just think it was a bad idea because you allowed your emotions to get the best of you. And because you allowed your emotions to get the best of you, you decided that you didn't want to take Andi up on her pro bono attorney. That's insane to me. Um so we get back to the basketball court, and the lab calls Rich, tells him to ask him to come in because they think something is wrong with his sample. So of course, that's a we end right there with the Sabrina and this is where the storylines start to wrap up. So we wrapped up with Rich and Sabrina. Um uh so Tony and Danny are having a moment, um a physical moment, and Danny tells Tony she has a mental moment. So she tells Tony she wondered if she's using sex like she used vaping and drinking. Um Danny, they start to get intimate again. Danny stops and wants them to cool off for a second. Tony apologizes for triggering her. And Danny was like, I don't want to hear the word trigger. I don't want to, she doesn't want to have any type of therapy talk at the moment. None of those buzzwords. They have a disagreement. And Danny says she's tired of feeling like Tony's patient. And of course, it's the back and forth banter. And then Tony leaves. Uh, Danny then grabs the vape out of the drawer, and she's pacing back and forward at this moment, and she starts to have a panic attack. Um, but she thinks she's having a heart attack. She actually really thinks that she's having a heart attack. Um, so we don't know what it is. So she calls 911 and lets them know, I think I'm having a heart attack. And we've just wrapped up Danny and Danny's storyline. So we're back at the police station, and Jordan is waiting on Penelope to come out. She comes out, but she comes out in handcuffs. And Watt tells Jordan she's being arrested for Gary Border's stabbing. Once again, I do not think that this was her doing. I don't know what that was, but I don't think it was her doing. I wonder, I don't know, but it wasn't her. It wasn't her. Um and so we back at the parking lot where the same dude is following Andi, and she hides on the side of the wall. Girl, she is so ditzy. As if he didn't see you kind of hit that side of the wall, but whatever. We're going to act like none of this ever happened. So Hudson calls someone to say to them, we may have a problem. Who he called, I don't know. But I told y'all, I believe Hudson and Gary was in on this whole stabbing situation. I'm sorry. I just they didn't think that this would go all the way left the way it did. Um and so this I'm sorry. Oh, let me say this. We wrap up Andy's storyline, and now we're wrapping up this Hudson and Gary storyline for this season finale. So Hayden walks into the hospital, walks into Gary's room, give him a piece of his mind, call him this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you and Gary are two sides of the same coin. And then he moves Gary's pillow from under his head and is about to put it over his face as if he's about to smother him. And this is where the episode ends. Whew. I mean, it's progressing. Storyline. Our storyline is progressing. Yeah. Storyline is progressing. We see what's gonna happen in the next episode, y'all. If I'm wrong, if this the season finale, but I really think that this was the season finale because they did 2 episodes. So we don't know when it's gonna come back on. Of course, we'll look out for it, and you guys know I'm gonna pick it back up. So please just tell me what you think. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will definitely come back to y'all on the 26th next week with Zatima. And I'm sure it's gonna be 2 episodes. It looked like they had on black, so yeah, we know Jeremiah has gone on to be with the Lord. Anyway, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.